Funerals were held today for the 5 Al Jazeera journalists killed Sunday by an Israeli airstrike. Israel claimed that one of them, correspondent Anas al-Sharif, worked for Hamas, a claim NBC News has not verified, but which both his employer and the Committee to Protect Journalists have strenuously denied. The team was in a tent in Gaza City when what Al Jazeera is calling the targeted assassination occurred. Al Jazeera has been one of the only sources of reporting on the ground inside Gaza, exposing a devastating humanitarian crisis that Israeli leaders continue to deny. NBC's Matt Bradley is reporting from the region. Matt, what's the latest?
And today we saw members of that tight-knit journalism community in the Gaza Strip burying several of their own. Al Jazeera reported that strikes by the Israelis killed 5 employees for Al Jazeera last night. And this has attracted condemnation from throughout the journalistic community. And it comes as Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu of Israel has presented plans to expand his attacks on the Gaza Strip, saying that he will be moving forces into areas where they're seeing a lot of Palestinian refugee camps in the center of the Gaza Strip, into Gaza City, and even into the Al-Mawasi area, which since near the beginning of the conflict last in October 7th, 2023, has been something of a humanitarian area. Now, this has sparked outrage among Israelis, especially family members of those who are still being held hostage in the Gaza Strip. They said that these plans could endanger their loved ones. There's thought to be about 20 hostages still remaining. Now, amidst all of these protests, we heard from Benjamin Netanyahu, the prime minister, last night. He defended his plan and said that there's no other choice but for the Israeli military to press its offensive against Hamas until they're completely destroyed. Now, this has sparked protests actually throughout the world, and we saw hundreds were arrested in protests over the weekend in London as members of the UN Security Council met yesterday and condemned the plan. Palestinian representatives to the United Nations pleaded to the world to take action.
Matt Bradley, thank you for that. Joining us now is Sarah Kuda, the Committee to Protect Journalists, Middle East and North Africa Regional Director. Sarah, thank you for joining us. There are officials, as we said, calling this a premeditated assassination and warning that this is simply a way to suppress the truth from coming out of Gaza. Is there any evidence to suggest that these journalists were anything but journalists?
First of all, we as CPJ, we join our voices and we say that this is a targeted killing, and simple plain, it's a murder. Israel did not provide until this moment any solid proof that any of these journalists are affiliated with any military actions or terrorism. They did provide few pictures of Anas al-Sharif with some of Hamas officials prior to the war, but that does not make from him a terrorist or affiliated with any military actions.
There are new statistics coming out of Gaza, the kinds of things that these journalists reported on. According to the UN Humanitarian Office, humanitarian conditions are beyond horrific. Frankly, we have run out of words to describe it. At least 31 more Palestinians have been killed over the weekend trying to get food. The number of children who have now died from starvation has hit 100. And yet Benjamin Netanyahu continues to say this.
Well,
if we had a starvation policy, no one in Gaza would have survived after 2 years of war.
He said, there is no hunger. There was no hunger. What are journalists on the ground finding?
I think one of the reasons why Anas al-Sharif was killed is because of his reporting on hunger and starvation, because pictures do not lie and videos do not lie. Speaking with the people on the ground is not a lie. It is truth. And what they found, what they saw, what they documented is not only starvation and killing those who are going to take any bits and pieces of humanitarian aid coming inside the strike. So there is starvation. A few weeks ago, we reached out, or a few months ago, we reached out to a few journalists inside Gaza. We asked them to document and report on the conditions that they are working under. All the videos that we received were speaking about hunger. They can't work because they are hungry all the time. They don't find food for themselves or their families or their children. So starvation is reality in Gaza. It's not fake news or propaganda as being promoted by Israel.
Sarah Kuda, thank you so much for coming on the program from the Committee to Protect Journalists. We appreciate it.